Hello everyone and welcome to another War Fun video with Dutchguy. Today I'm gonna teach you how to fly in full real battles. The reason why I'm doing this is because I have a couple of friends who want to know how to fly in full real battles, and I haven't really seen that many tutorial videos on full real battles, so I'm gonna do my take on full real battles pretty much. Before we're gonna go into a fight, we're just gonna go into the test fight. Because, yeah, your first time, if you're gonna fly, like, if you're gonna jump straight into full real battles, you'll probably crash and waste a lot of, money. Because crashing in for real battles, let me show that. Okay. This is a cheap aircraft, so that doesn't count. But this one is an expensive aircraft. As you can see, the max repair cost for arcade is 770. Historical is 2090. And for full real battles, it's 6,590. So that's a lot of lines which you're spending if you're gonna crash your aircraft. The upside for it is you'll get 230% reward bonus because you're flying in full real battles. The reward chance tends to be different for different aircraft. For instance, the Hurricane only gets 130%, but the Mark 5B gets 270%. So that's something which it varies between the aircraft, but I'm just gonna demonstrate this with the Hurricane Mark II. So click test flight. For difficulty level you set full real battles, and I tend to use limited fuel and ammo because then you'll learn to account for ammo usage and fuel. You can select the weapons which you want in your aircraft. I tend to set my targeting distance to 400 because you tend to get up quite close in full real battles, so you might even want to go lower than 400. For fuel amount I'm selecting 30 minutes because I'm not expecting to be flying longer than that. Okay, let's get into the test flight. Okay, now we're in the test flight area. You guys have already seen this area, I expect. Before we're gonna take off, you'll need to set up some controls, because without it you can fly without the full aerodynamic controls, but I feel it's really annoying. So like before you do anything, like controls, like I've reset to keyboard and mouse only advanced. Yeah, you can set it to arcade, but I have no idea what the difference is. But the things you want to set up is full aerodynamics, because you want to be able to trim your elevator, ailerons and rudder. And reset trimming as well, it's just an extra. I don't really care about that. I've it set up like this. I'm gonna link a download in the description so you can download my control setup. So as you will notice, there's no way to get out in third person view, and I am not using my mouse to look around. What I'm using is Free Track. It's a system which you can build with a old webcam and like infrared LEDs. You can either do that by attaching them to a track clip, which I've done. I have bought a track clip Pro from Natural Point, which is actually meant for the track IR. But a track IR it does the same thing, but that cost 150 euros, and I don't have that kind of money, so I just built one myself. Another system which you can use is Face Track No IR. It tends to be a little bit more glitchy, but if you have proper lighting in your room, then then it will just track your face by using your webcam, so you don't have to build anything at all. I've used this for a while, but my lighting in my room isn't really that great because it varies throughout the day. So I built myself a Free Track. I'll link in the description, like, to the website where you can download Face Track No IR. Sorry. I can highly recommend this, as there are pilots who are doing without. but there's no great pilots who don't use face tracking, and I tend to find that yeah, it will create a more awesome experience. Okay, so before takeoff, we're gonna set our trims for takeoff. Some people don't do this because, like, with the mouse joystick, it's not really necessary, but once you start using joysticks or you want to take off from short runways, you'll need to set your trims. So first thing I do is I tend to set my trim elevator to about 5%. This aircraft doesn't have any aileron trims, so I can't really use that. And I tend to find that about 10% rudder trim tends to help counter the torque of the engine. Keep in mind, when it comes to rudder trim, it can also be -10. That depends on which way your propeller is turning. But for most British aircraft, it tends to be this setup. It will be just fine. So press and hold I to start your engine. And this thing, let me just look away so you can, I'll just look up, then you can see it better. This thing, this little circle thing, represents your joystick. This is pretty much a joystick from looking at from the top, and this little dot represents your the top of your joystick. So if you pull it down all the way, that's a really big motion. If you pull it to the side, let me just show by looking at the ailerons. Like if I would pull it all the way to the side, it's a really big motion, so you will pull really, really hard on your control surfaces. So keep that in mind if you're gonna use it, because yeah, if you don't keep that in mind, then you'll just slap like into the ground on takeoff. So on takeoff, you're gonna just give a little bit of throttle. I tend to bring it up to half throttle for most aircraft. It will just take a second and then you'll start rolling. There you go, you can hear the engine spin up and you'll notice that you'll start rolling. Some aircraft have takeoff flaps, this one doesn't, but if you have them, use them. You can use Q and E, or at least that's my rudder control, to like counter some of the torque of the engine. It's not that bad because we've set a trim for 10%, but you'll still have some. I'll bring it up to about 70. Make sure you start like, you'll get a, what's it called? You'll get flat, your tail starts to come up. And because we have set takeoff elevator, it will make it so that we won't slap our nose that much into the ground. Now we are at about 200 speed. You can do this at 180, but you'll start pulling back on the stick a little bit. A really slight amount until you start feeling your nose coming up. If I would pull too hard, then I would have made a loop and smashed into the ground instantly. Don't forget to bring up your gear. That's pretty much all you need to know for takeoff. If you have takeoff flaps, don't forget to bring those up, because I forgot to do that once, and you'll hear a katoonk noise and you'll all of a sudden notice that you don't have any flaps anymore. So it is kind of funny though. Now you're in the air, you just need to get noticed to the controls a little bit. Like, you will notice that if you pull hard on, if you're gonna pull hard on your controls, it's gonna have a lot of effect on your aircraft. Like for instance, this is a really hard motion. Something you also just heard, hopefully, is the engine will react to you doing things. So that's something you'll have to keep in mind, because sometimes when you dive down, all the oil is pushed out of your engine because of the G-forces, and your engine just will cut out. If that happens, you'll have to manually restart your engine by pressing and holding I. I'm just gonna bring up my throttle to 100%, I completely forgot about that. You can already do that like at the last stage of takeoff, just give it full 100% for takeoff. At the last stage, keep that in mind. Don't go full throttle on takeoff, because you tend to go, you tend to go face down into the ground, because it will create a lot of torque. Something you might also notice In test flight there's always one target on which you can shoot at, but you have no idea where it is because you can't see it in real battle. You can find your target by bringing up your map by pressing M, and then you'll notice, okay, it's straight to our left, so it should be in that field around there. I'm just gonna zoom in for a sec. I think that little black dot over there in the distance, that might be our target. We can check this by just, yeah, going down on it. I'm just gonna bring down my engine speed because, yeah, we're not gonna need that much engine power in the dive. So let's take a look. Yeah, that looks like our target. But I want to do a proper run, just for the heck of it. So I'm just gonna come around, and I can use my free track or face track now IR, whatever you prefer, to look around and like keep an eye on where my target is. I can see it right there, so I can circle around, keep my eyes on the target. That's the reason why I prefer having a face tracking system, because if you don't have it, you can't really track your target that much. So we'll line it up, and it doesn't take that many bullets to kill it, but for fun. Oh no, I don't have rocket selected. Ah, I thought I forgot it. I've forgotten something. So you already noticed it takes a couple of bullets to kill targets in full real battle. That makes it a lot easier, but keep in mind you're only gonna have a certain amount of ammo after that you have to land. It's pretty much the same as in historic battles. So let's say we've run out of ammo and we're gonna have to go for a landing. Landing is not easy. It's far from easy in full real. It took me a long time to figure out to do a proper landing without smashing every part of my vehicle. So I'm gonna try to show you the right way. And for me the right way is cut down all the throttle, start approaching the runway. We might be too close here. I'm just gonna take some more distance. We can actually just leave the throttle down because we're gonna need to bleed speed anyways. You don't want to land at a speed which is over 200 kilometers per hour. I'm just gonna bring down my flaps now. We're going too fast. I'm just gonna come around again. That's the thing with landings. You need to do it right, or you just don't need to do it at all. Just because crashing your aircraft takes time to repair, and yeah, if you crash it completely, it's gonna cost you even more. So, okay, let's take a look. Okay, I think this is the proper lining up. Just gonna try to beat some speed off. There we go. Bleeding speed is quite easy to do, like by turning, because it will take a lot of energy to turn. Okay, we're now at a speed which is underneath 300, so we should be fine deploying our landing gear. We're still going quite fast to be fair, but I think we'll be fine. Because if you land on a speed which is a lot over 200, it will just mess up your gear, your propeller, and sometimes it'll just rip off your wings on the landing. So now we're approaching the runway at about 180 kilometers per hour. You need to make sure that your nose is pointed up whilst you're gonna touch the ground, because if your nose is going first, then you'll break your propeller. And be very, yeah, just make sure you don't come in too fast, because if I would have gone too fast, I would have bumped into the ground, went up again, and yeah, shit would have gone down. Now we're gonna brake and keep an eye on your what's it called? Your horizon, because by looking at your horizon you can see if your nose is going into the ground, so release your brake instantly when you see it going down. And the horizon is this thing. After you've landed you'll be repaired and rearmed and ready to go. So now we know that, we can quit mission and start doing some real fighting. So, let's select a nice aircraft. Today in full real battles there's gonna be the Japanese versus the Americans, so you'll have to select an aircraft before you go into the battle. I don't know why that is, it's probably a glitch and it will probably be fixed, but you can only fly one aircraft in full real, so for sure I'm just gonna use my most expensive one, the A6 M3 Ryzen, and it still has free, god damn it, it still has free repairs, 3 free repairs, there we go, on this aircraft, so that will probably do the trick, so I don't have to pay anything when I crash it. Make sure that like when you're selecting the current server that you click any available, because for full real battles there tends to be a smaller crowd, so you'll probably have to deal with Russians whilst flying, but it doesn't really matter because everyone flies in any available. So you'll be flying a servers filled with Americans, Europeans and Russians at the same time. Okay. Let's take a look. Cannons, yes, yes, yes. Good. Fuel amount. I think I'm gonna go with 45 minutes because it's gonna take a little bit to get into the battle itself, and I don't want to be flying in an empty tank. And the fact that we're flying a zero means that we have to take off from a carrier, so for this we'll definitely need our takeoff procedures, else we'll just completely get dominated on the takeoff. For this, like, especially for taking off on carriers, oh hi there, for taking off on carriers you'll definitely need like your startup procedures, else it just, it will go bad. And I'm gonna use a lot more throttle because, this takeoff is a lot shorter. There we go. There we go. That's a proper takeoff. For this it was I'm really glad that I did my startup procedures, because if it would have went bad, that's just not fun. Okay, I'm just gonna trim my elevator because this aircraft is light, so it will just pitch up quite fast and I don't need that much rudder trim. Okay, do I have a wingman? Nope. I'm not really used to these type of controls because I'm tend to fly with the joystick, so let's get some altitude. It seems that it is not really that cloudy, so we can use the altitude. Because when it's cloudy and you get into the clouds you just won't find any targets, that's the problem. And this is gonna be a little bit boring because it's gonna take a while before we get into the battle itself, so I hope you guys can bear with me, and else you can just fast forward a little bit. It's YouTube, so you can do that sort of stuff. I'm just trying to look for like friendlies, check where they are going. One thing you will always see is AI in the battles, or full real battles, because it's just not enough people playing full real battles. That's why I'm making this tutorial. I want more people to play full real battles with me, so that KI-61 is already doing work. To be fair, it's lovely. You can look around in the cockpit. It's really well rendered, so everything works in this cockpit. All the dials, at least, like the meters, that sort of stuff. There might be a chance that I instantly get shot down because I'm, yeah, also trying to talk to you guys whilst doing this. Just gonna try to... I think I see some... It's really pixel hunting at this point. We're gonna try to look for little specks on the horizon. I can see some specks in front of me. Turn around here for a sec. We could go for some ground targets, but first I want to just fight some airplanes off, because that's just the most fun you can get in free battles, in my opinion. Even though flying close air support with rocket pods is also great fun. I think that AA is shooting at enemies. Ah, there we go. I see a lot of specs now. I'll probably upload this in a really high quality so you guys can all see what's going on. Friendly aircraft, you can see by its whiteness. Let's get into the clusterfuck. Right there. Here's my target, I think. Crashed into the ground. So let's scout out for some more air targets. Let's hope the flag isn't paying attention to us. I need to push my nose down, else I'm gonna stall. I'm just literally gonna say what I'm thinking right now, so I hope you guys don't mind. Could go for that. Oh wait, there's enemies there, I think. But yeah, it could be friendly. Yeah, that's probably friendly. Trust me, it can be a lot of fun, but sometimes it's just not happening. And this might be one of those days. Shit's on fire. Oh hey! Fly straight in front of me, that helps. Let's try to kill this bastard. That's a hit. I think it's an AI though.
Keep the pressure on. Victory is close.
Watch out, friendly. I swear, watch out, friendly. Jesus Christ, that was close. It's not as easy to hit people in this as it is in pretty much any other mode. I'm just trying to steal the skill because I want those points. Nah, he's gonna crash. Not worth it. Ah, damn it, I want those points because, like, if you get one kill, it gives you so many points. So many credentials, buy-ins, experience, everything. Yeah, we've won already. Ah, they ran out of aircraft. Oh well. At least it somewhat has shown off, like, yeah, how full real battles work, so... And actually, for just doing that, like, I did fuck all, but I still got 5,200 lions and 7,486 experience. With premium, like, I would have had more than that. So that's a good way to earn money in this game. And if I would have gotten a kill, that would have been even more than that, a lot more. That would have probably been double, triple. So that's for real battles. I'm using free track. I'm gonna link that in the description. I'm also gonna link Face Track No IR, and if you have the money, buy Track IR 5 by Natural Point. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If so, please give it a like. If you've seen something in this video which is still not really clear, please comment, because I will definitely comment back. And if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. That was it for today. Talk to you guys later.